dear friends. I'm live. Hi, everyone. I overcome. Hello, everyone. Hoi allemaal. I will introduce first in Dutch a few words to my Dutch and Belgian friends. Hoi, ik ga het in het Engels doen. Ja, dat is gewoon makkelijker. Ik heb gewoon zoveel mensen uit de wereld die vooral Engels verstaan. En Nederlands is gewoon maar een klein deel. Dus, maar hoi allemaal. Lieve allemaal, Nederland en België. Hi everyone. And this song is dear to my heart. Because I will always overcome. Exactly what I am. The lyrics. And I believe in you. Ik geloof in jullie. In jou. And then I'm also talking to specifically the people and victims and survivors of any abuse, violence, mental abuse, who are silent. I understand you and I believe in you. And I hope you will get your voice back and speak out on your moment. Hi everyone, it moves me to be back live. I was so longing to go live again. Still here. Hello everyone, I think now the streaming is doing well. I restarted my computer and I put on a VPN. Apparently that works. Yeah. Hi, I'm live. Welcome everyone. It's a Monday morning and I felt so strongly the need to go live to voice pure from my own heart and soul and my healing process as honest and sincere as I can, because, you know, I every day discover more about me. And I will do this live streaming in English because I looked back also last live stream and it has its charm. But people from abroad are approaching me like, yeah, but maybe you said something in Dutch what I wanted to hear. So, but I promise I will do a specific Dutch live stream very soon. My heart is filled with all kinds of feelings, inner processing, deprogramming. Still, yes. Lots to say and to talk about that from my heart, from my emotions as well. I'm very emotional this morning because I feel since the documentary came out of Pelle Neroth Taylor, please visit and subscribe to the channel to Raven Films, where this draft is still streaming, and it is for the near future to go improved, or it will be developed more and in maybe lengthier, but for now it would be awesome if you would support me and him and his this documentary to get it out with yeah, what can I say? It's so needed that this world starts to realize what true MKUltra healing is and deprogramming and how tough it is. I still see, still don't get it. There are channels who are being invited even to do an interview with their MKUltra past. I approach channels, even Dutch bigger ones and abroad, and they are for, voicing also for my MKUltras. I don't know why I don't get any response. And I also know why, but also not why. And I am very stuck in between my own ego, which finally wants to get a broader public, but not to do it for myself alone. Of course, it is for my own healing as well, but it is specifically for the healing of others and the victims who have no voice and don't dare to speak out, because I'm also frustrated and angry because the true victims like me, and I don't say that the others who come forward are not a victim, but this is such a messy world. It's being divided in polarities. There's so much going on what I want to share. And I hope you can hear me, by the way. Hello, Nobby. You can hear me very well. I had to restart and go offline and online again because the internet got offline, which I have a perfect, very speedy internet. So I was put offline and now I'm doing it on a VPN. That's my life, being disturbed, being prevented from voicing my truth. How are you doing, by the way, Nobby? Thank you for being here, and everyone else who listens, of course. I honor the people who listen, and I don't want to name the word lurking because I don't like the word lurking. You are people too who listen and choose for not being active in the chat, and that's totally fine. Welcome. And so, what I was saying, there is so much that I want to speak from the heart. First of all, you see a bit of changes maybe in the coming few weeks because I will try to go live more often. And I also choose to do it fully in English, besides some words in Dutch to greet you when you are in Dutch. And because I realized that it is just too confusing also for me. And I get people from abroad who even now, and I was not realizing that, they say, yeah, but I want to hear everything what you say. And maybe you say something in Dutch, which is part of what I want to hear. And I listened back to a few live streams, which were a mixture of Dutch and English. And I could really hear that I sometimes spoke in Dutch, few details which were lacking in the English versions. So another thing is that I'm now for tomorrow I'm now at my 4 times 8, 32nd day, I think. No, the 21st day that I do my braces, and I have invisible braces from the brand Ordoline, and it is a kind of the same a bit as Visalign, which is famous and well known. But my dentist, I think you're awesome. And I feel really that spirit guides put me here on this track of that I would find a dentist who was friendly, not like a physician, like only with distance, and has a lot of skill and attention for what I wanted. And thanks to saving with some dog sitting, and I still find that word very funny, and letting the dogs out, which I love, for friends and so on, that I can now do this Ordoline with invisible braces. So it's very interesting, and I hope you hear me well, because I try to pronounce the words as best as I can. Nobby says we should hook up for a private chat and StreamYard or similar on topic. well, let's do that, Nobby, and maybe we can schedule that you maybe want to go online as well. Let's talk soon. And you have my email address. And for everyone who likes to email me, I changed from Proton to Gmail, a new Gmail account, because on Proton I'm still being harassed in that Proton mail. And I am so also sad and frustrated because I get blocked. I get still being shadow banned on YouTube and other social platforms. I introduced myself and the documentary of Pelin Roth Taylor, which I'm so grateful for that I have met him, and that he specifically came to Amsterdam to meet me and to do these interviews in secret. I am so grateful for his way of unique filming. And he did it all on his own, by the way. And he was used to have a team with lighting, etc., etc. But I find his way of touch, of personal, unique touch in filming, yes, it is what I like and what I honor. So if you want to support him, his draft of my documentary where I talk about my past and other survivors, it's being also proven my story is true. And that, I hope you will support that channel, Two Raven Films on YouTube. And it's also linked on my YouTube in a playlist. So please, can I ask you to like, share. Because how can I otherwise become visible? Even bigger channels don't approach me. They don't even react in, hello Liz, hello Elizabeth, thank you for your comment. Nothing. What is going on here? And it's not to complain, but it's obvious that I'm being obstructed. Another thing is that I'm being also attacked, and not only me, but also the people I live with here where I live. That's twice. And it is all invisible to others. So the low frequencies are bad as never before. They try with their radiation weapons, which do exist, dear people. It does exist. There are examples enough and proof as well that they target people who are a threat to the deep state. And in my opinion, it's still going on. Because why am I being obstructed to tell my story? Well, I will come to that in also another thing. What is very deep in my heart with the American elections. I just don't get it. And I speak from the heart. You know, watching, specifically you, dear friends, who follow me for already since I went public, I again get for myself proven why I don't mention names. Because what is happening now? I am also still figuring out how on earth is this all connected, also the deep state. And you know, in my inner process, I try to recap my inner process of last couple of weeks, specifically, that's the braces, I'm sorry, specifically to explain how I experienced it as former deep state MKUltra and assassin spy. I was everything. I was all in one. I was also the recording device in a secret military base with 4 generals, and these were American generals, and that was in the beginning of the 80s. And that there is a certain country in the East which starts with a C, and not the people, but the government starts with a C and then ends with a P. And they were involved in going from the East to the West to develop a worldwide capture of the earth, of the world. And I've seen it, I've witnessed it. I don't say that is it the 100% truth. I know that it is true what I witnessed. And I see now, for example, and another example is the Californian fires. I can cry about these people who lost their houses, and even people who are famous, the elite. Well, they were not spared as well, and my heart goes out to every single one of them. But it is unusual, the fires, how they went, the whole things behind it, like which is being cloaked, which is I investigated a lot and have seen videos. I've seen people talk who are fire experts, who are who were in the fire brigade, and I also saw a lot of burning. It is unusual burning. For example, a fire can melt window frames at a certain temperature, or porcelain, or glass windows. Fire is not burning the trees, but specifically whole blocks of houses. And it's not to focus on that, but it fits in what I've seen in the plans. That from the east to the west, and they now reached with the fire and the red-orange color coding of the fire, they reached now the west coast. And by the way, I was there on the highest level, and I'm now fully open in it. Yes, I was an assassin. Yes, I was with these 4 capital generals, and I was in the top of the pyramid, of the invisible cap of the pyramid. I was in skull&bones active, and I have been in the Gizeh tomb of the skull&bones ritual for 24 hours. I was buried alive. Actually, it felt like that. I had the initiation there, and that's very rare that a full mind controlled like me had for their eyes the honor to be there in. But I see this plan still unfold. Next thing is that to come back to my inner process, I will continue to these fires that I feel it's planned, and I've seen these plans. I was, as you know, many of you know, I was involved in also black ops and psy ops, and also space-related ops, and related to weaponry who could, also with psychic powers to have certain influence, but also with weaponry and radiation. And what I see in the West Coast is unnatural causes, and that I will stay to that. And I last week's also investigate first. And it's my own opinion. It's not to say it's the full honest truth, but it's my honest truth, and related to the plans I saw unfold. When I saw the plans, and I also traveled into the future, and for people who don't believe in future travel, it is possible. Only the deep state has learned to know their skills. They sacrificed a lot of children through the portals to go to other dimensions and to other planets. And if I see then a certain man cheering like, yeah, and we're going to Mars, and then I think, I'm cringing from within, because they have been on Mars already. I have been on Mars. So it is already there. They can visit some planets. By the way, also on very, very restricted borders, which is not being mentioned. But this needs to change, this world, for the good, and that it's finally become transparent. And I'm just so filled with also frustration. I'm also human. I have my emotions on it. And I just felt like, now I'm going live, because I felt also a longing to go live, and because I'm again more sitting inside, because also safety reasons, because the attention is more on me, and I'm of course more careful that I'm going outside without any company. just for the safety measures. And I feel that longing to express what deprogramming is. I also went live now to show that I am totally exhausted. I don't sleep. Since the whole inauguration, I even have more insomnia, I think it's called like that, sleepless night. And that low frequency is being turned on. Another thing is that with the inauguration, I follow everything around the inauguration and now what is happening in America and the one who's now leading that country. And I want to stay non-judgmental on that. So this is why I don't mention names. It is more that I want to express my experience. How can I express that? How come that in that what I see as a ritual, that inauguration ritual, that the new leader of that country is now in the midst of my former abusers? How is this possible? And I hope you can feel and see my emotions in that. Also, I heard the song, "Oh, when the saints, oh, when the saints, oh, when the saints come marching in." Well, this song and other marches were put in my programming. And because I'm whole enough, I can help myself by listening to it to not be reprogrammed. But how is it possible? And another thing, there was played a piano piece during, I think it was in between, after he was inaugurated and that he was on that stage with the speech. Well, I watched a lot of things around it because I want to fully honest tell what I feel and what happened to me in the deprogramming. This is true deprogramming. It's hell. I went through hell last couple of weeks. I can't express how the hell I literally went through, and I chose not to go live because I don't want to be that victim. But this is deprogramming. It's not sleeping. It's being attacked by radiation. They try to threaten in my dreams. They try to threaten my dear friend in a dream life and in a physical attacks in the night, because the dream state is very open for if you don't protect yourself enough. And I was totally nowhere. I had an identity crisis because I was also triggered, but I am healed enough to be capable of being healed and whole. But how come in that, if I would be there, present in that inauguration, I would walk away because these are abusers in there who were present. They were my handlers. They sexually abused me. They tortured me with my children. For all the former world leaders you saw there in that inauguration, maybe some exception, they were my handlers. I was their slave. I did black ops for them. I had sexual activity with them. How come that no one walked out? How come you can sit next to a former president and then be mates? I've seen the sign language. I'm very curious what you felt with it. Like the new president who is sitting next to a former also president of America who... How can you sit next to someone like that? And it needs to be out here. And Alice, dankjewel. She says in Dutch, ik ben binnen de aanhouderwind. Yes, and I will never give up. And I don't want to mention names because I don't want to accuse someone who's now the present American president. And I've seen him in action. He visited the Californian fires. I see him talk about things which I feel is good, better than the other option. But how come that he can be there sitting next to this former president who is he tortured me in front of my eyes. And I will now say a gruesome detail. He ripped out a tongue in front of my eyes in a copy of the Oval Office, because I know it was a copy, because it was another environment. I can feel and see when I've been to other environments. And it was also in a tent for hygiene. You know, these tents they used for when the COVID virus went around in the world. You see then these hygiene tents, because they have also the floor, ceiling. They can fully seal it off, so no remains of the blood and the guts, etc. will be traced. And I'm now very open, you know. Because it needs to, maybe I will also put it off, because maybe I wish someone from the present president now in the US would reach out to me and go with me, because I will not accuse anyone if someone shows true, honest, sincere, wanting to change. And I don't want to have anyone being killed or harmed. I want to do it in a peaceful way. But these people should not be in the leadership and nor being in an inauguration. Please state in how I feel, how I would feel as just, suppose you were a victim of sexual abuse or abuse. And your former abusers would be in a gathering, like a party. And you see that. And they all come in with their spouses, who the majority of them I also met. How would you feel? And also, how would you feel if no one listens? I'm deliberately, I know that, I'm deliberately being silenced. And Hi, Yvonne and Alice. Thank you for sending everyone nice, sweet wishes to everyone. And I'm emotional because I went through hell in the deprogramming last couple of weeks. I tried to reach out a big Dutch channel on YouTube twice. Not one response, not even to the link to the documentary. And Pelle is an excellent documentary making. He did everything on his own. And he has his own approach of a kind of impressionistic way of, but it's very sincere. I think it's unique in front of what I've seen now in a lot of documentary making. It's all the same formula. And I think he's unique and to be trusted. And I wish this world would finally hear my voice. And I know you, dear friends, hear me because you're listening now. And if you don't approve, that's fine too. If you don't believe me, that's fine. But why? It's for me so obvious that I'm being restricted from voicing. And I went from last November to now, I went through the most lonely days. And if I would not have my dear friend here and also Jane, and of course now I met Pelle, who believes me, I feel he listens to my story. That's the only thing what I ask for. But it's such a lonely journey. And I am the one who is speaking out and dare to speak out, and I'm whole enough. But there are a lot of victims who write me in person. The true victims who have the same experiences as me in the past. And they don't dare to speak out because they have the same like me. They are being shadow banned. They are being kept low profile. On X, which has a certain man in the elite, how come I still get nothing, no views? And I am on X, or former Twitter, from 2014, and already I started with sending out my love message to my beloved man, M. And then I started to become more open about my deprogramming all these years. Also thanks to him. He's in the spirit with him, and I love him and I miss him. So I know my life is also so maybe unique in that I have a collection of all kinds of things which are unbelievable because I've experienced them all. And that makes me also unbelievable, and that's what my former programmers know. But to come back to that inauguration, again, vision. You are a victim of sexual abuse, being tortured by the world leaders, the American world leaders. I'm talking only about the American world leaders, the presidents, former presidents, and seeing them in a celebration and making jokes. It's incredible interesting to me because I'm whole enough to also take distance, like a helicopter view, to see their sign language. But why is there this friendly approach between the now world leader of America and this former handler of mine? And not only there, but also in other things, which was a funeral of another former handler, also former president, who recently died. He was my handler too. So, and I say handler because that's maybe the best word for it, because the majority of them are victims too. This is why I don't mention names, but I'm again stuck in, I don't want to mention names, because maybe some of them might have been deprogrammed enough, which could be with the present president. And at the same time, I have flashes of former presidents. It triggered again my programming, and also the root, and that's my inner process of deprogramming, what I'm now in. It triggered my roots of my military part, and I've now come to the basic trauma of that military part, and it had got to do something with burning. And also burning my favorite pets in front of my eyes. And that was my life, dear people. And also in the Dutch life, I had to witness tortures like that my dear pets were killed in front of my eyes. And another gruesome detail was that I found a fetus of my Dutch mom, and in the garbage bin, which they, I'm sorry I'm so detailed now, but it's my almost frustration of not, I might put this off on private after I went live. And Nobby, thank you for your comments. Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection 2025. Here in England, may what sleep, too busy working it all out. And also Yvonne, hi lieverd, in Dutch. Hi dear. Hi Yvonne, thank you so much. Yvonne says, you know I believe you, and I know you, my dear friends who follow me, and not even everyone who follows me, but it is, and I'm now speaking out, but you know me from all the live streams. I'm truly sincere from the heart, because I truly hope this present American president is good. I truly hope that he has been deprogrammed. But I see other people on the stage there in inauguration, and that he is so friendly with my former abuser sitting next to him. This world is messy, and we need a lot of work to clear everything up and to get a new world, which is truly a new beautiful world. And to come back to the fires of California, I've seen it in the plans, and I've traveled in the 80s in Black Ops to the future. And there to also, by the way, change very tiny little things to make it more possible to put the agenda out. From the East would then a worldwide pandemic evolve into and go to the West. but I've seen also in the future that I stood with a tree. The sky was orange, red. Even the sun looked reddish and orange. And I stood next to a tree, a charred tree, burned. Yeah, my heart goes out to everyone in California and also everywhere in the world who has to deal with these disasters. Some of them are natural, but yeah, I've been to California. I've been on the West Coast, and I mourn for. Doesn't matter to everyone, rich or poor, because I know these disasters also take care of that people come together. But there's another thing what is, to me, in my experience, from what the deep state likes to see. I've watched a lot of the news broadcasts like Fox, CNN, and so on. I did follow, I wanted to investigate next to what I knew from my own experience. And it's very important information, I think, that these people who are in the deep state, I will call it all in one, I don't like that word either, but at the same time, for many people, it is very well known, and also the neo-Nazism and there are actually two giant groups: the neo-Nazists and the full Luciferians, and they also were planning to get together in their best way they can, and that they promised each other, like also on Mars happened, by the way, that they could have a certain region, and then they made a certain deals, and then in between these layers and underneath that capstone of that pyramid, there were also made all kinds of deals, and this is why it's so messy, which they find very helpful, by the way. But to come back to what's now happening, and also with natural disasters and created disasters, which I don't doubt the California fires are being stirred up and being provoked with radiation. I have all kinds of proof. You can all investigate. Look up, for example, you can do your own investigation. Look up when wood burns, how trees burn. How houses burn. And it is for me awful because I've witnessed it from myself. I have done in my black ops horrendous things which I will never be capable of disclose. But one of my black ops was to burn down a church, a wooden church. And with everything in it. I can't say the more details, but it was a black ops in my military, deep state, trance state. And I've seen next to that burning and burnings, how material burns. And this is in a degree which is unnatural. So, but look up material which really melts with certain degrees. It's very interesting. And another thing what I wanted to say was, before I lose my thread, my train of thoughts. Now I lost my train of thoughts. It was very important for me to share, but I lost my train of thoughts. Oh yeah, from that east to the west, that I did see what I mentioned in the live streams, and the agenda has been extended, but I've seen for 2025, it was planned a female after the Queen of England, the second, would die, physically die, then there would be provoked in the agenda the next step to invoke a female world leader. And she would be standing up as a so-called savior of the world. But she is Luciferian. And could change, might change, I don't know. I know they have had to reschedule their agenda because we're now in 2025, but I'm still observing what will happen, and I hope it will not happen, like the worldwide martial law. But because I've seen now the fires have now entered, so the code east to west, red wave, with the 4 generals in that military underground base. In the 80s, I've also seen in the 19s Chinese army enter illegally on the East Coast and the West Coast, a whole army of Chinese were entering in the American soil. Why did that happen? Why don't I hear anyone talk about that? So, with the burned lands in California, then they hoped that people would not come back. This is why people have to wait 16 or 18 months before they get a permit. Well, the present American president has promised to the people, we have to give back the ownership of the people, that they can clear up their burnt houses, etc., and that they get the permits immediately. And this is what so confuses me. I talk straight from the heart and what I feel as whole as possible for my MKUltra. That I find that a good thing. Let people get as quickly back to their own, which is their own ownership. They own their house and the land, so let them go back before other, specifically from the east, starting with the sea, who wants to buy the land and then develop their more like apartment buildings and so on. But that's maybe a step too far. That could all be part of the plan, which is still trying to be unfolded. But to come back to why all these news broadcast stations are still broadcasting all that horrendous fire. And I don't say that these people are in it. The majority of them don't know that they are being used and actually being demonized, but let's say being used on an emotional way. It is a part of the tactics of where I was involved in the deep state, like these people, these evil people, the real evil people. I'm not talking about also the full mind controls and who are also victims in my opinion, but there are true evil people still in the world and in the leaderships of the world. Is my opinion, because why, again, were they allowed to sit in that inauguration? Why? Why is there not a world leader making a statement? And now I'm the president of this country, and now I will, for example, you have no permits to enter here, or live your life, but you have, for the rest of your life, no chance of getting in a leader position. That's very peacefully, isn't it? I don't want to harm anyone. Again, it's just my simple idea, as also how I look at the world with my, I think, also unique experience as one of the few rare people who did survive. And I will go for the full going for the full wholeness of myself. And I will always strive for that and choose for that. And this is why this was also the reason why I choose to go less live. It was actually the main reason. Next to that, I had teeth problems and I wanted to save for my ortho line. I mentioned it again, great. It's great. This brace, this invisible braces, which fixes my teeth, will fix my, how my teeth will be in an original state. So that's incredible, awesome. But to come back again, these people, these really evil people, and they know that, they feed on the honest, pure emotions of the people from the broadcast stations. For example, the people who interview the people, the victims of the burnings. These emotions are being eaten. They love seeing victims, and they love it, emotions. And this is why it's so important to get a balance. Also to learn to view from a helicopter perspective. And this is why I had my unique way of deprogramming. I went out of the public life to fully voluntarily go inside a residence. People here in my environment don't know what I'm doing, exceptions, who I trust, who, you know, if you listen to that, you know who you are. I love you. And I met them spontaneously also in the front garden when they were visiting neighbors, like aiding the neighbors, which were elderly, like a nurse. And you know who I talk about. I love you dearly for that, and also for your trust and keeping my identity safe and so on. But further on, to the people who I let the dog out or cat sitting. I have no idea what I'm doing, who I am, and that's so bizarre. That's also what I went through lately. Like, isn't it bizarre that I cannot radiate who I really am? That's bizarre, isn't it? Like, and I think it should be out. I think I'm fully dedicated to that as well. If it's in my godly mission, to have that impulse for other victims and survivors, that we should be acknowledged, but at least just being accepted or something. The majority of my life, and I nowadays hardly am going outside, only very carefully chosen. I have my own measurements to make it as safe as possible, but isn't it interesting that I don't dare even to say who I am? I don't even dare to say that I go live regularly. Well, I am intended to go more regularly live again. So, to come back to the emotions, the evil people, the Luciferians and the neo-fascists, they eat emotions. They love emotions. Because if the emotions are fully there and we people open our hearts for these people who are victims. Me too. I cried when I saw these Californian fires, but also the other disasters. I'm crying for the people of China who have been victimized for centuries. And I'm not even talking about many other countries, now also America. Meanwhile, also a shooting is happening, which a lot of them are hidden, specifically trained in the military MKUltras who are being triggered and being activated, or with so emotionally and so mentally not being heard and seen that they're also starting to shoot up schools, etc. It's a messy world and we need to fix this. But I believe this only can be fixed if a former full mind control, fully healed and strive for fully wholeness and clarity from talking from the heart as well and feeling. I think I am. There's one thing what I truly can stand for 1,000,000,000%, that when I say something, then it comes from me, from how I experienced it, how I experience it. It's coming true from my heart and feeling and knowing from my experience. How would it be if I would be capable of shaking the hands of someone who might be even have been a handler but is now deprogrammed? And how would it be if we would shake hands and go for this full transparency and fix this world? We need to fix this world. But it can only happen if it starts in the highest level, that this highest level elite, this umbrella elite, has no longer the power to influence. And meanwhile, they eat emotions of these poor victims, of rich or poor, doesn't matter, famous or not famous. My heart cries for every single one who is truly a victim and has losing property. And I know what it is, because a lot of my pictures were burned. And fortunately, last year, like I know, I could retrieve a lot of pictures of myself, because I have contact again with a family member. So that is awesome, it is incredible, but I know what it is to lose, and specifically through fire. But it's very important to know this tactic. It's about they love disasters. It's like a monster, and it's no fantasy, it's real. They love it. And instead of the real people who feel from the heart and have emotions, everyone is being abused, in fact. Everyone is being mind controlled and abused and taken advantage of with their emotions. And I think that is emotion, and it's very important as well that, for example, like The Simpsons, that cartoon, which I have my own opinion of, that these people are part of it, of the whole stuff. That's also very important detail, what I know from my experience, and what I know having been there also in the elite, of the capstone elite of this invisible pyramid. And these elite are invisible to the world. They are no world leaders, by the way. They have no public positions. They are hidden because they want to stay hidden, because they're puppets underneath that capstone. They do their work. Well, you know the pyramid structure. I don't have to. Enough people have explained it, but I don't want to lose my train of thought again. That these people are specifically, so where I was in, that it's about, and with the Simpsons, that cartoon, they predict things. You can look it up. They predicted the present American president and a lot of other stuff, and also disasters. Well, these people need on several ways. Needs to warn the people of the world, the common people, or the people, just the peeps. Rich, poor, doesn't matter. Everyone should be warned ahead by voice or by imaging. So these cartoons are being used to already get that warning out. And then God, the Almighty God, the true God, for me it's a true, honest, sincere God. I call it God. You can call it the divine source. He will never interfere with our own decisions. God cannot solve things. He can help us and can, if we call upon him, that's my own experience, then there will be helping sources. But because the deep state and these hideous Luciferian neo-Nazist people are warning ahead, they can say, well, we warned the people and they did not do nothing. They did not hear their voice. So they did not say, so not enough people shouted out like, no, stop, and then put action in that on a peaceful way. I mean, I will never want to do any violence again and again. Why do I say that, and can I say that so clearly? Because in all these years of deprogramming, not one violent part in me came forward who wanted to harm anyone. No, they were built on love, on my essence is love, and I always stayed safe with a part of my essence, and also because of the love of M. I wish I could call his name, because a lot of people don't believe me, but his name was Michael. Okay. Michael Jackson, okay? He was my lover, and he will always be my man, and it's great to now say it out loud, and it's the truth. And this is why he was so heavily attacked, and still, because we had a relationship, and we tried to have our life together, and there were all kinds of reasons which was not possible. He tried to deprogram me, and it costed his life. But because I have such an unbelievable story, no one believes me. So this is why I can say it, See, feel, if you believe it or not, this is the truth. And I want to honor him. And I'm so angry and frustrated, because I want to honor him for what he did. And he's gone. But maybe now you understand why he was being heavily attacked. He was, and in my opinion, is still the most unique, and most in God's, if I can say that, being who tried to heal the world and make the change. And it costed his life. And because he's physically gone, I cannot show up with him. So, again, no proof. Hey, Barry! Hey! Nice to see you here. Hello, you all. And, by the way, Barry, I was in the live stream, did hear you, but I was a bit confused. But for me, it's fine if people want to call me Ray, because Rachel was also a very important personality in me. So everything is fine. Ray, Liz, that's also short, so... But I choose to do it as Elizabeth because it gets very confusing, and also because in the documentary, short Liz Wallace is also nice. So here I am with my story and with my healing journey to just simply express. We need to fix this world, and I've also seen, for example, that on Facebook and my other social media that I lost some followers, subscribers. And maybe it is because, like Pelle, he does talk with people from Trump's side. But I'm not against Donald. I am so observing what he says. He says good things. And I believe in action. What is action showing? And I'm very curious how you experience this, because it's I'm not a person for discussions, but it's also not I'm fully, behind everything he says, but that's to be human. How is it possible to always be 100% agreeing with someone? It's like, especially latest decennia, that we have to be fully agree with everyone. No, I don't agree with Donald fully, but it's better than the other option. And also certain woman who was, when was it, in 2014 that Donald was also president? I don't know exactly, or 2017, or he was in that 4 years. So that other option was even more bad. Again, I want to give someone to show in action if he's truly or she make the world a better place. Yeah, and I may be different in that. This is why I have hard times in mentioning specific names. But maybe this is why also I lost some followers and subscribers, that they maybe think I'm fully behind Donald. I'm not. I'm not behind anyone. I'm behind myself and my own truth, and stick to me getting whole. And my main thrive is that finally this world does change for the good and for the people. And that every country gets righteous leadership. And not under one leader. I think it's extremely dangerous if there is only one world leader. That's the only thing I wanted to express. 2016, says Yvonne. Yvonne says, I still have the feeling he faked his death and is in WP. Okay, yeah. Many people do have that feeling, yeah. And Barry says, when we make a political party, we can postulate what we want, but then the members will not agree with us. Thanks for sharing, Barry. Yvonne says 2016, yeah, so it was a bit accurate in that. And Barry says, Trump is on thin ice internationally with Greenland and Panama, yeah. And it's good that you mentioned that, Barry, because I've seen these plans. That's one thing what I know for sure. I've seen the plans from the east, from CCP to the west, that they would, from the east to the west, there's whole symbolism in it. For the people who are aware of Freemasonry and know a bit more about how the deep state and Freemasonry, neo-fascism and Luciferians work, is that they are very symbolic in going from east to west. And there is a symbolism in it. They believe wholly in that also the Ark of Covenant should travel from the east to the west, which also happened, because I've seen now the fires in Los Angeles. So they now reached the west coast, and it's to me, it's only what occurs to me that now Donald is now the president when that happened. Is he trying to prevent it with all his knowings now? Is he deprogrammed now in the second term? I am very intrigued by it. Maybe he's even deprogramming Elon and others, and of the owner of Facebook, which is so weird that he suddenly changed courses. And I find that alarming. But with the vision of that they might be deprogrammed or something like that, then I could understand it. And this is why I also don't want to accuse anyone. But I want to make a start in that former world leaders are no longer allowed to have power. That's it. That's all. For me, that's fine if they have a family life and work, but they should not be allowed to be in high-level things and in an inauguration. That's what I hope the world will go into. And to come back to the Panama Canal, and indeed with what I wanted to say with CCP, I'd rather say CCP because the Chinese people are the victim. I love you, dear Chinese people, and everyone else who has been suffering from regime in all other countries, or all other countries who are involved with Shadow World. I don't want to throw everything on one whole heap. And what you say there, Trump is on thin ice berry internationally with Greenland and Panama. I feel that is true. Because what is he now trying to evoke, And because I know the plans that the East will go hand in hand with the West, so CCP with America, CCP owns Hollywood. I think CCP wants to get the lands of the people who are now the victims of that burning stuff, and even the elite. I've all seen it in the plans. Also, famous people, stars, that they will be victimized because everyone will be sacrificed. They don't care. These people who work for the evil don't care. They just want money grab and land grab. And if they can own also the lands there, then they can create from the east to the west, because that's, again, a very important link. They reached the west coast with the fires, with, in my opinion, created fires. And now I go back again to this Greenland and Panama. So I'm very alarmed by, is now Donald not evoking even more violence, and that it might be, I don't say it is the case, but it might be a cloak for what is underneath already being a co-op together with CCP and America, because that's where I come from the deep state. I don't say it is, because I want to give Donald truly from sincere my heart and feeling the chance to show that he is now for the good. So that's my opinion. Luciano Soprano, say, funny, Trump was best friends with Epstein, but we all forget about that, right? Lol, it's crazy. Yeah, I have my own opinion on that as well. I've met so many what you call Hollywood stars, but I also met people from Hollywood and the music industry who started to deprogram. Thanks to, and I say it again, Michael Jackson and Elizabeth Taylor. They are heroes. They are truly heroes. They are not in the physical here any longer, so this is why I can mention it, because I feel it's safe to say that. And it's a messy world, and there's a lot of work to be done in this. Luciano Sopranos, yeah, they destroyed LA on purpose so they can build their freaking smart city. Yeah, even glass windows were burned. Look up at what degrees fire burns wood, glass, and porcelain. I've seen, specifically, there was someone touring on a bike through the coast, the west coast of LA, which I was there, and it hurt me so much to see all these burnt houses. But there were blue objects which were not burned. I've seen them. There was, and they all now moved them out. But there is a blue. You can find it on YouTube. It's very interesting. There is an official, maybe it's on Wiki even, but for blue objects that they cannot burn, there is an octrooi. What is an octrooi in English? But it's a lawfully, an agreement, or that they can get money from it, this invention. That blue things are not being hit with certain radiation. And it does exist. There is proof of it. You can find it if you search for it. It's so interesting too that is the case. And look up degrees of which fire burns. Look up how trees burn. And even the dried out trees in LA, the bushfires and so on. Patent. Ah, thank you, Barry. Yeah, patent. And Barry says, America also warns some examples from the past and current. If the ICC Crime Court Den Haag will question an American, a battle fleet will come and take the American out. Recent. NATO countries have to do more themselves. Big Brother USA will only step in where they see fit. I have to reread that, Barry. Very interesting. If you have a link for that, or then I can read it. America also warns. So that's the present America, with the present Donald as president. If I'm wrong, then I will see it in the chat. America also warns some examples from the past and current. If the ICC Crime Court Den Haag will question an American, a battle fleet will come and take the American out. Recent. NATO countries have to do more themselves. Big Brother USA will only step in where they see fit. Okay, now I get it. Luciano says, nah, I don't think they're good. It's still burning, right? Yeah, if you mean the California fires. Yeah, there were also some what they call wildfires. And they also arrested even people who you could see also on a video cam that they were lighting fire to a tree. And I think that also homeless people are being used. It's like the same as in China. Homeless people are being used. Homeless people are ideal to be used because the majority of them have mental issues, have no family, and yeah, it's easy to put the blame on them. Many of them come also from mind control, by the way, or heavily abused as a child and then go into drugs. It's a messy world. We need to fix this. I was so driven by passion for freedom, true freedom and transparent leadership, that I was even thinking like, I will go for president in the Netherlands. Let's start there. I will set up something that I will become the president of this Netherlands country. And I'm laughing. But you know that I mean it. If I would get the sources, I mean this. And I don't think I will succeed, but I mean, but it comes truly from my heart and passion. DEW, and then Barry says, ICC was in the past, but Trump does not live that. Okay. Hallo Ingrid, goedemorgen Ingrid. Ja, ik zie dat je nog me noemt als Monique. Dat is prima hoor, maar misschien goed om te zeggen dat Monique, so Ingrid mentions me as Monique. For the people who don't know me yet, I know it's so confusing. I changed so many times names, and that is also very honest in my deprogramming. This is part of the reason that I also put my live streams on private, because I felt like, what will people think? Like I'm crazy? And I'm not. Certainly not. It were my former personality splits. And I choose very, very consciously, by the way, in all these years to choose for a certain name. And also the name Ray Elizabeth, still rings a bell in me, you know, it still sounds great. And Monique is what I honor inside, but she's integrated, and she was a Dutch front life. And this front life was smaller than me as Elizabeth, of short Liz. Dus dan weet je dat ook, Ingrid, dat het is helemaal prima als je me nog Monique wilt noemen. Maar ik zou het ontzettend fijn vinden, en ook om het minder chaotisch te maken voor de anderen in de chat, om of Ray of Liz, liefst Liz, L-I-Z of Elizabeth te noemen. Dus dankjewel. Maar als je me Monique wil noemen, is ook goed. So I will continue in Dutch. I explained in Dutch why I let go of the name Monique. And I honor the name Monique because as Monique, I was also a lot of times with Michael Jackson. And I hope He will be released from all these accusations and being used, even after he left this earth plane. He's upstairs, but he's with me. I feel him. He supports me, even now he's upstairs. I love him dearly. So, Michael, if you listen, you know, babe, it's my truth, and it's true about us, and I love you, and I will stand up for you, who you are, who you truly are. You're a hero. Oh, man. It's so nice to just give it words without feeling all the time like people already think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy, it's the truth. Legislation. The ASPA was signed into law in 2002, allowing the US to use military force if necessary to liberate any American or citizen of a US allied country held by the ICC. This act is part of US policy to protect its nationals from ICC jurisdiction. That's my invisible braces, I hope. By the way, you don't hear it too much, my speech. From ICC jurisdiction, reflecting a stance of non-recognition of the court's authority over US citizens. Many sources, easy to check. And this was in the chat of Barry Henderson. And by the way, Barry, I did not check the commands. I don't know if what's the command for shout out? Is that SE? I'm out of it. I have to practice again. Find a list of all commands here. Okay, then I have to go on Twitch. It's still working. All right, thanks, Barry. So people follow Barry, go to his channel as well. And I was also, I think that was yesterday only or Saturday with Extinction Rebellion. And my heart goes out to these people. And I've seen, I hear a lot, this is not a subject, but it's the environment which is dear to my heart. They have good things. And their management is awesome. And I know someone who is in the, almost all the times, I never said it publicly, but I know someone who is always in the, how you say that? In the front of the group of Extinction Rebellion, who is sitting there. Just sitting there and let her, she's sitting there for what she thinks is, what I think is also polluting the airplanes. So they have good things, and I love Extinction Rebellion for that. But these people are not crazy or all like what they call in Dutch geitenwolle sokken mensen. No, they're people from all levels of society, and I know that from within. And these people I know, I will not mention if it's a man or a woman because I honor privacy. But they are in that organization of Extinction Rebellion. They are really good in managing and keeping safe. So how to take care of, do it peacefully. Yeah, we can learn a lot from them, I believe. They have good things. But that's my opinion. But yeah, Barry also streams that if Extinction Rebellion is live. So in the Netherlands specifically. All right, so I did rant a lot. And, it's now 11:15. How long have I been live? And I think I'm also live on Kick and on Rumble. I apologize if I did not say hello to you all there. And I don't think I'm live on Facebook. But maybe you know that, Barry. Did it change? My Facebook business page, the new one, I get the message I cannot go live because I need 100 followers. So there are people who do hear it. If you have a Facebook account, please follow me there on Elizabeth Wallace, the one and only. I will change that Facebook page, but I was so angry at the time that my both other business pages were stolen by what I believe is CIA. So in that time still in the hands of the deep state. I'm very curious, by the way. Does someone know or has proof that CIA is now in the hands of of the good? And I truly hope, Donald, that you truly cleanse that to these organizations. I truly hope that. So. Oh, Ivana, thank you so much. I am now 1 hour and 14 minutes live. Okay, yeah, it's possible that someone can enter the room here, the living room. But it's a very interesting discussion. So if you see me turn the camera, maybe I should do that now already. But in case he comes downstairs. Wait, I see now. No, oh, I should be the other way. Wait. Well, I will leave it. I will. I think I will head for a closure. Maybe that's better. Barry says, yes, new policy since end 2024. 100 followers needed to go live on a page. A bummer. This is why I wanted to go live this morning through my business page. So then I also, that is why I also cannot cross-post Barry. So that's awesome, of course, that I'm capable of doing that. Thank you so much. Yeah. So about the documentary, I did not even talk about that. That triggered in my inner process also the memories with more the world leaders and also a son of a certain world leader or former world leader. I will not mention the names. Neo-fascism. It's neo-fascism against the Luciferians. And they made a deal. That's what I knew from the plans, but to come back to my inner process in that, I notice I lose my train of thoughts. But I don't sleep either. I'm awake from a bit 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I cannot sleep any longer. So I start to feel that. So I lost my train of thought. So again, please, like also on YouTube and specifically also comment on underneath this live stream. I think I will decide to keep it up, because it's my opinion, it's my expression, and I might be wrong with what I say and express, but it's my true, honest, from now in my wholeness as best as possible. How I experience the world and how I experience now what is happening in America. And again, I am not fully 100% behind Donald. I'm observing and I want to give him a fair chance. When someone is showing true actions to change, because why do I say that? Why do I have that opinion? Because it's a messy world. It's hard to stand up suppose I was a world leader, and I've been there. I've had black ops, and I was there with people who were good people who did not get any chance to change, because they were surrounded by all these evil people, and they took care of it that he or she was also blackmailed. And I was sadly enough also being put in that position as well in my trance state, in my former full mind controlled. And I am still feeling guilty about that. But I think I choose to be open about it. And Pelle really helped me about it, a documentary about Pelle, because he helped me more remembering this. If there is one thing what the documentary did, which is a draft, there will be a follow-up, more extended things happening in the future, near future. By the way, follow Pelle as well, Pelle Neroth Taylor, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. There is documentary still available to watch on 2 Raven films. That's the YouTube channel, and I somewhere have the link on my YouTube, also on the playlist. Please subscribe to that channel to show. I think it would. Yeah, I want to support him, of course, but isn't it important that at least I get the chance to voice what I experienced? That I'm fully open to shake hands with, for example, the present president of the of America. I fully want to do that. And the people here in the house know that, my dear friend, amongst others. She knows how passionate I am. And I say that in a lot of live streams. What would happen if a former mind controlled who is fully healed enough, which I truly feel I am, with maybe also a president who is deprogrammed. And then we can change that world, because then I voice the victims who don't dare to speak out. Because they see too many gatekeepers, as they call it. Gatekeepers who are, the majority of them are still in it. And without their knowing and being used. A lot of them are not. But I have contact with victims who I believe are truly victims, also of the heavy full mind control I was in, who are still suffering from that they are being kept hidden and being attacked with energy weapons. And it intensified on me as well, and in my dream world. This is why I don't sleep, and the low frequency. So I hear every night loud. It's like in the soil where I sleep, and I checked it. It's right underneath me. And it's also physically. It's not in my mind. It's physically there. And I hear it. And there's only a very tiny percentage of the whole population who even can hear it. And with my, of course, sensitivity of being a former full mind controlled, noise and frequencies, I'm honest in that it's a vulnerable subject for me. It will be a lifetime's thing to deal with, I think, for the lifetime of the rest of my life here on Earth, dealing with frequency attacks, as long as this world is still being enslaved, or at least still not being freed yet as a whole. So, yeah. So, dear people, I think I'm tired. Are there still people who like to ask me something? Did I forget something to mention? Well, I am now in the root of my military part, and as I said, I'm already remembering more. Oh, thank you so much, Barry, for that. I will also put it as a command in my Twitch. I'm really again passionate about going live more often, and for the Dutch people. So I will pronounce it in Dutch, I will say then that in Dutch, in the common sentences, that I will promise to go live fully in Dutch soon. Dus lieve mensen, ik ben van plan ook live te gaan in volledig live in het Nederlands. Maar die zaterdagavond, ja, ik kan niet lang vooruit plannen wanneer ik kan. Dus, en ik ben ook heel vaak op andere plekken, ook uit veiligheidsmarge, dat ik dan natuurlijk niet wil laten zien waar ik ben. En ik word gewoon ook meer aangevallen. Maar ik beloof dat ik een keer Nederlands live ga. Dat zal spontaan zijn waarschijnlijk. Dus ik beloof het. Ja? So, that's what I mentioned. And yeah, so I sit in the root of my military process and having now more memories. And that's also an important part. I had last week an identity crisis. And then I will close off this live stream. But to share what my full crisis was, that next to my insomnia and incredible heavy impact of my invisible braces, I dare to smile now even more openly. And you will also see the development and its order line. And why do I mention this brand? Because I honor what I received from, that I finally feel so great with now already seeing that my teeth are changing and moving literally in the right direction. And that is awesome. And my dentist, my new dentist, you're awesome. And that triggered, because I constantly, for the people who had an invisible brace or had braces maybe when they were younger, that I did not expect to have such a pain. And it's me, because I was, of course, coming from full mind control, but I had toothache and nerve ache and the nerves around and in the jaw. It was so painful. And it triggered because I continuously had these braces in and the pain, I remembered that I wore braces for example, for disguise, but the tortures. I knew I had tortures like you see also in Clock Clockwork Orange in that movie, that you see these, I forgot the word for it, but a kind of construction to keep the eyes open. I had that often. And I also had braces in my mouth. And to keep my mouth open, to get all kinds of tortures on my teeth and so on. But now I was in a continuously reliving of the body. So that caused me that I now am aware of that I reached my biggest part of my core, my biggest part of who I am. And that's the good news. But it's incredible an inner crisis. Hey, thank you on YouTube, Barry. Oh yeah, I was checking if I am on Rumble Live. My channels. And do you? I will type it in. You still have that bio link. Yeah, I checked it this week, so I know you still have it, Barry. I will put it in. So I will check Rumble before we'll go offline. Oh, that's... I have also only one monitor. I'm live! Yeah! Oh no, I'm not live. Oh, I am live. Sorry, I am live. Thank you, dear people on Rumble. I apologize that I did not respond there, but often I don't see anyone in... Hello, Arzu Kanek. I don't know when you were in the chat, but welcome, everyone. And, oh gosh, now I want to do too much at the same time. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll do that copy. Oh, thanks so much for putting that on, Barry, because I want to copy paste it on Rumble. I think you're still moderator on Rumble, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I put it in. Okay. All right, so, well, dear people, I'm fulfilled. I see even that I'm live on Kik. Gosh. Is anyone on Kik? Can anyone check if I'm live on Kik? Because I have to log in. I can't find you on Rumble. Okay, I will put it in. Okay, I will put in the link, Barry. Thanks for checking. Copy link. Kik is live? All right. Here is the Rumble. And what is your Rumble link, Barry? And I put it in as well. And it's the channel Elizabeth Wallace, former Deep State Monarch Secret Army. And that is a bit the disadvantage of Rumble. I have already there, I honor you, by the way, all followers there. Please follow there as well, subscribe and comment. And that counts for YouTube, Facebook. But Rumble, Kik, YouTube, please subscribe. And I'm, yeah, I don't want to use the word begging, but it is so important. I really want to get that my subscriber number higher. I am being suppressed, even on X. So you can help me if you support me, of course. If you don't want to, fine too. All respect to all of you who don't believe me, don't support me, that's fine. But it would be awesome if you would like, thumbs up, duim omhoog, liken, subscriben, abonnee worden, please. Then I can finally grow as a channel. It would... I got also a bit last few weeks depressed of that. I got 3 or 4 more subscribers since the documentary draft came out. So weird. I checked the way to go live, but not really using Rumble. Ah, right, okay. I think Rumble is what I've seen with the subscriber numbers still increasing. I think in all these years that I am on Rumble, Rumble is the most honest, sincere channel for me. And also Trovo was, but I got such a creepy people in Trovo, and I deleted that channel, and they took advantage of financial of people. So, but maybe that changed. Nobby says Rumble is my fave. Oh yeah, yeah, mine too. But people hardly comment there. So, but yeah, that's for the people who are listening there and who are followers already there. Thank you so much. I will go live soon. I will keep you updated also about my, well, it's an alternative for Invisalign and it's called Ordoline. It's a Polish orthodontist and in co-op with my dentist. And it's very, very interesting. He has a 3D. I, by the way, do like digital things and AI as well, as long as it's not getting more... yeah, there's a whole other story. I'm tired, but that's another thing. I feel AI is an extreme dangerous for the world as well, which is part of From East to West Code, which I was in with the plans. Smart cities, they are exercising, by the way, that's also LA, to exercise to produce a new smart city, and then to that only people are limited to enter there. So they want to get people living off the country, because people living in the country and own farms, they are more independent. Well, that's a whole other story. Well, searching for your Rumble channel, I did find this Elon Masked Crusader Death Vehicles MKUltra build more, and will you the full link per PM on Facebook. Ah, okay, thanks Barry. It's thank you so much. Nobby says one more sub at Rumble. Ah, thank you so much, Nobby. And you're always there. So and I to come back. Yeah, let's talk soon, you know. I did see your comments, so let's talk soon. And maybe even in a live stream. You're welcome to be a guest. All right, thank you, Barry. I'm tired. And it's a relief that I finally could. And I wanted to talk more about it, the whole inauguration, what experience to me, that what I said in the beginning of this live stream. Why is all when the saints? Why is the village people being chosen? They were part in my programming, but maybe Donald chose that to deprogram but I know that the people who were full mind controlled like I was and were with march music, with that old-fashioned march music of the American history, yeah, they could also be triggered in the programming. So I'm so confused as well. And that is very honest. And I think this is the power, I think, of that I choose to go live. And I really want to go live. I missed you all, dear people. And before I go, thank you so much for also your private messages, your mails, and also for the people who don't show up in the chat, but you mail and message me privately. Thank you so much for, you encourage me to speak out and to do that on my unique way. Thank you for the support, and maybe even for the people who don't dare to speak out. I hope you will share my channel and help me grow on YouTube. Help me grow. And I've for a long time didn't want to beg for more subscribers, but I thought, why not? Why not ask for your support? And it would mean the world to me, because channels, and also bigger channels, and I will not mention the names, but I wrote them twice. A big Dutch channel who does invite former MKUltras and SRA and so on. And also from abroad, a couple of channels. Comment publicly, also on X. Even reposted their videos, which was about also child abuse. Nothing. I didn't get any response. Isn't that interesting? If there's one person who wants to have peace and not mentioning names or blaming people, then it's me. So and this is why I decided I will go live. I will express more in details what I experience, how I'm doing. Like I always did. Me, that is me, Elizabeth, Liz Wallace. For some, Ray, and that's fine. I like Ray, but if you want to call me Liz or Elizabeth would be awesome, because then people will find me very easily, more easily. And to come back to this is why I indeed ask back, but in the right way, for please subscribe, share, ask people to subscribe, like on YouTube, comment. I always will respond. I try to respond to, I think I have a pretty high percentages in responding. So, all right. Dus lieve allemaal, I will do that now in Dutch to ask to like and subscribe to my channels. Lieve mensen, ik ga er een eind aan breien. En dankjewel. Ik kom gauw, graag, snel live in het Nederlands als ik de gelegenheid heb. En dat zal ik dan ook wel even van tevoren aankondigen. Maar dat is bijna niet meer mogelijk in mijn situatie hier. En ook hoe ik me voel, want ik ben helemaal... Ja, je ziet het misschien niet, maar ik ben gewoon helemaal op. En een heel heftige weken gehad. Ik ben door de hel gegaan, letterlijk. En ook door de branden, wat ook heel erg triggerend was. En allemaal trauma's naar boven gehaald met dieren en martelingen met mensen. Dus nou ja, in de militaire herinneringen. Maar goed, ook trouwens getriggerd door een nieuwe president die nu president is in Amerika. Dus allemaal in het Nederlands nu. Maar abonneer je alsjeblieft. Deel het met mensen waarvan je denkt, goh, die zouden me willen ondersteunen. En dat is puur om... Ja, ik heb ontdekt dat als ik andere kanalen benader, ik krijg helemaal geen antwoord. Dus dan moet ik het op mijn eigen kracht doen. Maar op mijn eigen kracht betekent dus ook om jullie hulp vragen. So, in English, I ask for the people in the Netherlands and Belgium. Hey, Belgian people, I love you too. That I ask for to subscribe. But that's far too long. But for now, I just, ask for that. Okay, Barry, so nice to see you in the chat. Thank you for moderating and sending the links and helping me out. And see you all next time. Follow also again Barry on his channel. And he is on many social media. Yeah, dear people. And of course also follow Jane, who is writing the book about me, my friendship with Diana. Might be in the future also my relationship with Michael Jackson. Ta-da! Who knows? A big revelation. Okay, so dear people, love you all, truly, and all dear people of the whole world. We need to fix this world, and we have to start at the top, because in all these other below layers, there are only like tiny few sources, and they can change things. But I think we have to do it from the top. So I go for it. So hey, Liz Wallace for president, yeah. I would do that, and I know God, and I know the people who know me here know I mean it. I will go for it if it's God's mission and God's intention to do that with me. So, all right. Love you all. Much love, peace, and joy, because that is very important too. All right. Doei. I will go now, and it's hard to say goodbye after a whole time going live. Gosh. That's me again. I just cannot say bye-bye and then go. Dear people, bye-bye. See you next time. Bye. Love you all. Subscribe. Share.